Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go back. One of my most popular videos has been about the secrets of Kitsap County, which there are a lot of them and they are incredibly hard to find. I'm not quite sure why these secrets are not easily made available to the public. But this is not about Bigfoot necessarily, although Bigfoot is common in these areas. But I wanted to talk to you about local petroglyphs. And if you're not familiar with a petroglyph, it's a type of ancient art uh, carving. They carve it into rocks. They use a chisel and they tap it in there. So it's not paint or some other type of pigmentation. The ancient carvers actually hand chisel it into there. And I wasn't aware that there was any petroglyphs in the Kitsap area until a couple years ago. I came across Halys Rock, which is on Bainbridge Island. It is a petroglyph. It depicts some faces, and there's been a lot of speculation about what it means and what the faces represent. One theory is that it is the season. So it was acted as kind of like a calendar, and it tracked the full moons during the summer months. I do think that that is an interesting idea because the native people relied heavily on seasonal food. So when there was this moon, so each one of those moons has a different name, and during that full moon cycle is the time that you would go and get different resources. So now the carvings are pretty worn down, but at the time, I'd imagine if you looked at that carving, it would tell you, okay, it's time to go get sockeye salmon, or it's time to go get king salmon, or it's time to harvest huckleberries or thimbleberries, or whatever that means, whatever symbolism that had. And so they chiseled these inscriptions during the Ice Age about over 1,000 years ago, maybe 2,000 years ago. And so then generation to generation, they'd be able to know, oh, okay, at this moon, at the harvest moon, we go here and do this. The other theory about Halys Rock is that it might represent the tribes in the area. So you can still definitely see three faces, and there are a couple different tribes, and they represented one clan. So it might have said, hey, these are the clans that are around here, and it points towards Canada, which the local natives here in Kitsap had a very warlike relationship with those Canadian tribes. So maybe it was a warning to those tribes, stay out of this area. These are, we have these tribes around here to protect it. It could also be a sacred site, and it's across from the old man house, or what remains of the old man house, which was a huge log house, a longhouse that used to sit on the beach. So this rock is on Bainbridge Island, but right across Agate Pass is where Old Man House used to be. And it was a huge building. It was like 3 football fields long, and all of the warriors of the tribe would meet there and have warrior ceremonies and warrior training. So the Old Man House is a cool site. There's only a little bit left of it, but I know Old Man House is a real sacred site, and it is a shame that there's only a little piece of the park left, and then there's a bunch of houses built on the side of the Old Man House. And I mean, I am a big history buff. I think it would be really cool if they tried to reconstruct Old Man House so we could see how it is. And so, The tribe has a reservation there, and they have a casino, and it's still, some parts are tribal land, but the old man house, there's just a little, I don't even think it would be half. And it's a little park you can go visit. It's a pretty neat place. The next petroglyph I want to talk about is one that I recently went to look for, but I wasn't successful finding it. And it is across from the small community of Allen, and it's across the bay in a small area called Victor. And so I was on the Allen side, and you have to be on the Victor side, and you have to go down there at low tide. But it's kind of right across from Allen, but on that Victor side. And it's a rock, it depicts, and people aren't sure. There's all sorts of drawings. There's some fish on there, maybe some things that could be mountains, maybe some people. And they think that it might have been an early map, or maybe, again, another type of territory marker that would warn other tribes coming from the south, hey, there's a lot of tribes here. You don't want to come into our territory. We're going to protect it. Again, this could also be a sacred site. You know, really interesting thing. The third petroglyph I want to talk about is the strangest. And I don't remember where I found out about this petroglyph from. I couldn't find anything online. I had a vivid memory of being told about it, but then I couldn't remember who told me about it. And if you know me, I have a lot of weird, like, things come into my head, a lot of weird coincidences. I talk about this a lot, but something told me in my head, if it was a memory, I don't know. I can't remember who told me if it was a memory, but it just like popped into my head that there was a petroglyph located at Point No Point Park. And Point No Point is a historical place. That's where the local natives were basically forced into signing a treaty giving up their land to the white settlers. So it's got a kind of a sad history to it. Now there's a lighthouse on there. But this voice in my head told me if you go to the lighthouse and you turn right and you walk along the beach, you're going to walk around a corner and there's going to be a big rock with a carving of a killer whale, an orca on it. And I had no knowledge about how far it was, how long the walk was. I just Google mapped it. It's about 3.6 miles one way, so that would be, you know, a little over 7 miles round trip. And it is a hard walk. It's on the beach. So me and my son set out looking for this rock, and sure enough, we came around a corner. I have some notes here. We came around a corner. It's in the area. I guess it's called like Pilot Point or something. And sure enough, there was a big rock there. And you could see where there was something carved. You could kind of see a dorsal fin in the tail and kind of the eye. But again, it's been so degraded over time that it was hard to know. My son climbed on the top, and there was a survey coin, which there is a survey coin also on Halys Rock. So again, I couldn't find anything out about this rock other than it's a killer whale, and I didn't know the location, just something told me it was there. So sometimes these petroglyphs mark places of power, and you can have some connection to them. So like I said, something in my head was telling me that if you walk this way, there's a big rock with this, and sure enough, it was there, but it definitely wasn't that impressive. Also, when we were walking, there's a lot of isolated coast. We did come across a spot that was in the middle of nowhere with just hundreds of empty cockle shells. And I didn't take a video of that because, you know, it is the beach and things do eat cockles. but it was just strange. And that area is around another reservation that's known for Sasquatch encounters. And Sasquatch is known to partake in shellfish. So maybe he or it was down there eating those cockles, you know, and it's definitely a weird place. I definitely had some weird energy vibes, but you know my videos, this is running long, guys. Let me know what you think. Have you heard of any of these spots? What about that rock with an orca on it? Have you ever heard of it? Do you think somebody told me about it and I just forgot? Or do you think that, you know, I had a dream or something was calling me to that spot? And I'm going back to work, so you guys, I probably won't have weekly videos after this, but you know, keep it up. Your comments, your subscribes, comments go a long way in keeping me motivated, and we'll see you guys next time.